Setsumetsu Evolution.
Hi guys, welcome back to T Fighter channel. I'm T Fighter Azuharu, and today we're talking about one of the best deck in the current meta for both Japanese and English version. So for Japanese, we're now at DBT03, while in English, we're at Lyrical Support. So what is the best deck I was talking about? So I'm talking about Loronerol. It's one of the best deck in the current meta. And you know, why does Lyrical still tops? I mean, why does Cat's Loronerol still tops? Okay, for DBT03, it doesn't change the meta much except from upgrading Bruce and Bastion and other decks further. While for DBT03, they also introduced three different decks. I mean, three new decks, which are Gravidia, and then Graydon and Flackbird. But these three doesn't change the meta much, while the others doesn't fully change the meta to the moment they cannot shift Loronerol away. So Loronerol is now at the moment at one of the top three for topping. Like, first of all, we have Bastion, then we have Bruce, and we have Loronerol. Okay, why does Loronerol still maintain that aside from that? Okay, for D series, I mean for Lyrical Monasterio, which is basically the Bermuda Triangle in D series. And then, what is this Bermuda Triangle? Okay, for those who started at D, Bermuda Triangle is basically a nation, but then back then we call it a clan that has a very good set of cards in their booster, except despite being boosted for once or twice in a year. Yeah, they actually get very good set of cards to the moment they can maintain to the meta current, like at least for a very long time, between 1 to 6 months at least to survive. So yeah, that's why Loronerol is still alive at the moment. But I believe once DLBT02 come out, which is February 2022 for Japanese, I believe it will be upgraded further, especially with the current set of cards they have. So let's go to my deck profile for this, and I'm giving you like what are the cards that you should play in Loronerol, what are the flag slot, and what is songs. I mean, why is this song so good? So yeah, alright, so this is my deck profile. So we'll start obviously with the right line for D series. Alright, we have the grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 Loronerol. So starter, actually you can choose any starter, but I decide not to change the starter. So if you change your starter, the only objective you get is to confuse your opponent while you're building. But the moment you write into the grade 1, your opponent know what are you playing no matter what. So the grade 1, it has the ability, if you write over it, look for a grade 1 song order from hand or deck and put it to order zone. So if you choose your deck, you shuffle the deck. If you choose your hand, you draw one card. And then grade 2, similar ability to grade 1 on the second ability, which is if you write over it, search your deck or your hand for a grade 2 song order and put it to order zone. If you choose your deck, you shuffle your deck. Then if you choose your hand, you draw one card. And it has other ability at Vanguard Circle. During your turn, if you have a card in order zone, I mean a song order in your order zone, this card gain 5k. So when you write grade 1 using the grade 2, done, you already get an order card, I mean a song order in order zone, and this thing hit you for 15k, which forces your opponent to throw 15k and 5k shield for a guaranteed no pass. Or if they throw away 15k shield, this thing will hit if you land a trigger. Very nice. Then we have the grade 3 Loronerol. Obviously I'm playing 4 of this for the personal reason. So it has the ability auto Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, counter blast 1, you choose a card in the order zone and play it. Then once you play it, you turn the card face down. It also has a second ability, which is the best ability in this deck. Auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit attack, you choose if you have 2 or more cards song order in your order zone, You may play one more song order, and until end of battle, this card cannot be guarded with Sentinel, which is very cool, right? Very nice. A very good set. So, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what is song order. So, song order basically set of songs that you put in your order zone. Then once you play it, you turn it face down. So each card has different abilities when you actually play it. I mean, if you sing it. By the way, guys, do not literally sing when you play the song order, because there was one time my friend actually play Bang Dream and he sings. Well, not really sings, like literally scream-ish. Yeah, he lost his voice for around the second or the third round in the tournament. I was like, oh my god, why you did this to yourself? Okay, jokes aside. So the objective of this deck, basically try to set as much cards at your order zone and then play as much as possible and then reach the specific finishing turn for Loronerol. So for the song order, I play 1 of the Romantic Happiness, 4 of the Madder Red Runway, and 4 of the 6 Petal Fractal. Okay, so for Romantic Happiness, sorry, it has the ability, if you play this song, you draw 1 card and your Vanguard gain 5k. So this is the best early game card to sing, for you to sustain, for you to reach your personal right turn or your double no sentinel ability. Then Madder Red Runway is actually one of the best order card in this deck, because it has the ability, if you play this card to the order zone, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, you draw 1. Then the second ability, Auto Order Zone, if you play this card, basically your Vanguard gain a crit. So it's a very nice one. You get a free crit when you play this song, and it has the first ability is very good, because if you go second, you'll be way tankier, because once you go second, you use the grade 2 Loronerol to search for this in the deck and you draw 1 card for free. Or if you choose this card from your hand, you draw 2 instead of 1 if you go second, which is nice. And then we have the grade 3, the best order card, second best for me in my opinion, because this one only useful in the later game once you reach your personal right turn. So it has the ability, if you play this card to the order zone, you may choose a card in your order zone which are face down and flip it face up. So you would recycle any card that you wanted to use again for this turn or the next turn, for one turn or the next turn itself. So yeah, its other ability, Auto Order Zone, if you play this song, choose one rare card for every song order face down in your order zone and stand it. Then your Vanguard gain 10k for every 1 card that stand up. So this one only works if you use Loronerol's second ability. So you choose this, you play this, and for every face up, which is minimum of 2, you stand 1 and you gain 10k for each that stood. So it's a very good combo with Loronerol. Loronerol has no sentinel ability, while this card power it up, so your opponent have to guard normally, no perfect guard for this. And let's say if you choose this, your Vanguard have crit and gain 10k for every card that stands up, which is very nice. Alright, so back to the right deck. So obviously I play 3 Loronerol. Don't mind the proxy cause my card haven't arrived yet. Then for the grade 2, I only play 4 grade 3. For the grade 2, I play Equinoa, the best beat stick in this deck. So it has the ability Auto Record Circle once per turn when this card attack. If your Vanguard play a song this turn, during this turn this card gain 5k. Then additional effect, counterblast on this card 1 and draw 2. That is very nice. Remember, it's once per turn, so You may attack it for, you know, just 10k or maybe 20k if you persona right. You may not use the 5k, but once you use the 5k, if you don't use the counter plus 1 discard 1 draw 2, you are unable to use this ability for the rest of the turn. So make full use of it. Maybe you might consider like attack 10k or maybe attack 20k, and then once you stand, then you attack, gain 5k, counter plus 1 discard 1 draw 2. That's one of the best sequence, cause who knows, you don't want to discard your current hand. Maybe you want to wait for you to twin drive and you want to draw by the, you want to throw away the card that you twin drive instead of the card that you currently have. That's a potential way. Then I play 4 Elmer. Very nice card. It has the ability Auto. When this card is placed on Guardian Circle, Soul Blast 1. For each card in your order zone, this card gain 5k shield just by Soul Blast 1. So let's say if you are in your turn 3, you already have 3 cards face up. I will tell you later. 3 cards in your order zone. I will tell you how it works. So this card gain 15k shield. It's a 20k shield alone. But if you have 4 or more cards in your order zone, this card is a 25k shield. The longer the game, the stronger this card gets. It's just like the deck. The longer the game, the stronger it gets. Then I play 1 Audrey. Simple ability. It's an 8k base card for a grade 2, and if you have a card in your order zone, this card gain 5k. So it's a simple 13k bit stick. So if it's not boosted, it still hits the Vanguard. Then simple, very simple choice. 4 perfect guard, obviously. You can play 4 or less, but 3 or less, but I'm not gonna recommend that. Not to mention in Loronerol, you get this you have very high chance to pull this from your deck, especially with Ukiinoa and your Red Runway. I play 3 Luisa. This is the best booster for Loronerol. So it has the ability Auto Regular Circle. When this unit boosts, and it boosts. When this unit boosts, during this turn, if your Vanguard play a song during this battle, this unit gain 5k. Then if this card is at the central back row, this card counter charge. So remember, it can be an 11k booster, but it only counter charge if it's behind your Vanguard. Then I play 2 Harriet. Similar ability to Audrey, but instead, if you have 2 or more cards in your order zone, this card gain 5k. So simple 13k attacker or 13k booster. So trigger lineup, self-explanatory. 8 crit, 3 draw, 4 heal, 1 over trigger. Obviously you play over trigger. If you don't play, then if you win without over trigger, you're a very good player. But then over trigger is actually quite strong. It's comparable with Galma Gihel. So but this one is way better than Galma Gihel because in my opinion it improved the rear guard, and then it's less comparable with triggers. So it has the ability until end of fight you gain during this turn. During your turn, all of your rear guard gain 10,000. So that's a very nice one. You don't need to persona to make your front row gain 10,000. That's nice. So 8 crit, 3 draw, 4 heal. Actually, you could go for front, but I prefer draw because of Loronerol current weakness, which I will mention later. Simple. Show you one of the flex slot, since okay, this is your order card. The order zone, you play 9. You may play more, but I will not recommend that. Obviously, right line is fixed. You should play 4 of Ukiinoa because I'm not asking you to use the counterplus discard one often, but I did it very often though, I have to say. But It's still a good 15k bit stick compared with Audrey, and if you boost it with Harriet, it can make magic number. For Elmer, for me this is fixed, but you can play 3 or less, but I recommend you to play 4. Very tanky option. Then Perfect Guard, obviously fixed for me. 4. 3 Luisa. You may play 4, so you will decrease the flag slot for me. Triggers, 16 triggers. Obviously you are asked to play 16 triggers. 3 Loronerol. So you left with 3 slots for your flag slot. So you can choose, you know, maybe 3 Harriet if you want more booster, or maybe 2 more Audrey because you want more attacker, but really up to you. But what I would recommend is this lineup, because there are times you don't have Equinoa, you would use this, and you want intercept. That's very nice. And you rarely boost actually for your rear guard. Most of the time you will boost with Luisa. And I don't want to call Harriet behind Vanguard, because there are times that I will call Luisa. I mean, let's say I call Harriet at the back row, then I got Luisa later turn. I was like, oh man, I should retire my Harriet then, assuming the card is not killed. So how to play this deck? So yeah, okay, we're gonna start very simple. This is the right deck. Okay, I'm gonna just search for them, right? Okay. So for turn 1, you go normally, but then you go turn 2, you use the Great One ability to search for this one from your deck or your hand, then put it to Order Zone. That's pattern 1. Then once you go turn 3, you search for this from your hand or deck. Then depending, if you go second, this is your song pattern. Turn 2, turn 3, then during turn 3 manual play, then turn 4, then maybe turn 5. Yeah, but yeah, this is the normal sequence if you go second. But if you go first, it will be the other way around, because you don't make full use of this card face up. I mean this card if you play it here. So yeah, so back to the main one. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 3, assuming you go second. Then turn 4, but during your turn 3, let me give an example of damage. During your turn 3, when you set up this counter +1, play this and Vanguard gain 5k and draw 1. Then reaching turn 4, you play another card, counter +1, play this and crit to Vanguard. So at this moment you already set up for your Vanguard do not get guarded with Sentinel. That is very nice, because you know, in this, for this power, I mean for Loronerol, it has very high power and your opponent cannot Sentinel it, so very high pressure on the Vanguard. But thanks to 6 Petal Fractal, it's not just the Vanguard that gives pressure, it's also your rear guard giving pressure. Then you have nice bit sticks and Luisa booster maybe, but yeah, but sometimes this is the formation, or if not, 2 Equinoa, and not to mention Luisa, it also neutralizes some of the cost, which is very nice. So when this happens, your Vanguard already gain crit, you attack with your rear guard, then you resolve this because of your Vanguard's ability. Remember, when you resolve this, you do not turn it face down immediately. You count first the cards that is face down here, then you stand at that number with 6 Petal Fractal, and the Vanguard gain 10,000 for every card that stood. Then you turn this face down. So that's how the song order works. And remember, when you boost with Luisa, counter charge 1. Then remember, if you twin drive with your Vanguard, let's say your opponent guard for 2 triggers to hit, 2 triggers to pass. So drive check, let's say you pull a trigger. It depends up to you. It's really up to you if you pull a trigger. Like let's say first check trigger, you check your hand, you check your field. It's really up to you if you want to all Vanguard, because for me it's not that risky to all to Vanguard, or maybe just power or crit rare. That's also another better choice. But for me, do not fear of power or crit to rear guard unless you think it's impossible for you to get a second check trigger. But for me, just use your chance on all power Vanguard if possible. If not, don't do it, because in my opinion, your rear guard actually help to poke your opponent. I know, like, let's say it's like you give power to rear guard, your opponent gonna perfect guard your rear guard, because you know your opponent cannot choose your Vanguard. I mean, cannot perfect guard your Vanguard, so they will perfect guard the rear guard. In my opinion, it's better to poke your opponent and to provoke them to guard with normal card rather than to provoke them guarding with perfect guard. So you know, make sure the perfect guard stuck at his hand for no reason, so later turn your Loronerol gonna hit your opponent with a crit swing. But yeah, remember, since Loronerol have very bad early game, your opponent most probably gonna guard early game, and during turn 4 they will no guard your Vanguard, remember that, or they will reserve their hand and guard your rear guard and guard the Vanguard. But most of the time, if you play this deck, your opponent gonna reserve their damage. They're gonna guard for the first 2 attacks, then Vanguard attack with the 6 petal fractals, then your rear guards. Your opponent most probably not guarding this during your turn 4, but during their turn 5, they have to all out guard everything. So try your best to provoke your opponent not to guard with perfect guard, so that your Loronerol gonna hit the final punch. Which is why I call this deck, like, for me, I call this deck Neko Punch, because it has the best Vanguard, and it's a cat, and it punches hard. So yeah, that's actually quite simple in my opinion. The only problem about this deck is it's depending on your mulligan, and you have very bad early game but comparable with Final Rush. And then the pros are, well, basically you have a Bermuda Triangle in this series, that's one. And number 2, it has very strong early to late game tempo. And then number 3, Waifu. Number 4, you're supporting Lyrical Lily, because Lyrical Lily is actually the ambassador of Lyrical Monasterio for Japan. So yeah, indirectly supporting them. I mean, indirectly you're supporting D4DJ, and obviously you're supporting Bushiroad for making this the best card game. In my opinion, it is the best card game. Yeah. So yeah, that is all for my deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and see you on next video. Bye bye.